Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's October 1st, and you know what that means if you're an artist. It's the first day of Inktober, and this Inktober I decided that I was going to make a comic, which is just a bad idea because I'm already overwhelmed with schoolwork and other projects. But yeah, I was just going through my sketchbook, and I wanted to show you some of the sketches that I have, and there's little me being cute. And yeah, now I have to find a video to watch because that's such an important part of the art journey. And yeah, I'm just gonna work on a sketch. So the story that I wanted to tell was about a vampire named Iris. You're gonna see a little clip of me searching flowers that are poisonous. Now I'm on Pinterest right now. I get very distracted easily, but I'm gonna search up flowers that are poisonous, and I couldn't decide on what I wanted to name her, Iris or Hydrangea, because apparently they're both poisonous. So I decided I'm gonna name her Iris, and she's like a vampire, and she just wants to befriend humans, but because she's a vampire, everyone's scared of her. And then she falls in love with a human, and then I really don't have a plan, honestly. I'm kind of just going with the flow. All I know is she falls in love with this science professor guy that's blind and can't see her. So he just thinks that she's a regular human, and that's the story that I'm working on right now. So I'm just gonna shut up and let y'all listen to some music while I draw, and I'll probably come back in a few minutes. Well, I'm back now, so I guess I can explain a little bit of my art process and what I do to draw. So as you see that I drew the sketch layer first, and then after I draw the sketch layer, I do a refined sketch layer, if that makes sense. I do a layer that's a sketch, and then I do a layer that's a cleaned up version of the sketch, but it's still a sketch. I don't know if that made any sense, but that's how I like to do it. I like to clean up my lines, draw the clothes, any extra details in this layer, so that when I do the line art, I won't be having to guess everything. and I was really struggling with her face, as you're probably going to see, as I like redrew it like 1,000 times, because I wanted her to be really cute, but at the same time I wanted her to have a unique face. So I didn't want to give her kind of like a button nose, because I have like a lot of characters already that have like the button nose, and I thought, well, she's a vampire, so maybe she should have like a wide nose, or like not like a wide nose, kind of like a long nose. Yeah, I think that's the type of nose I'm trying to describe. So that's why I gave her kind of the long nose, and I also gave her like these little blush cheek marks. But then I was like, she's a vampire. I don't think vampires can blush. I don't know, but I don't think they can blush. But yeah, I just wanted her to look really cute, but also look distinct, if that makes sense. I don't know if that made any sense. So like I said previously, for Inktober this year, I'm making a comic, and I don't really have like, I'm not going in with like a script or anything, and I'm also kind of just going with the flow. I was going to like, my original plan was that every day I was going to like make a page, and it was going to like correlate. It was going to correlate with the prompt list, but I don't think that's gonna work out. I'm just like extremely busy, and I just don't think I'm gonna have the time to actually do the page every day. So I think the more realistic thing is to just try to make a completed story within October. That makes any sense? I guess that makes sense. It makes sense to me. So yeah, now I'm just drawing her face. I started using this new brush. It's not really new. It's a texture pen brush. Ugh, I can't talk. I started using the texture pen brush, and I really like it a lot because it gives it kind of like a it kind of makes it look like actual like ink, like you're drawing with ink and paper, if that makes sense. And I might just like make this like my new brush. The brush I used before was I think like a sketch brush. I don't remember, but I like that brush too. It's just that like when I would go on canvases that were a little bit, I want to say smaller, but maybe not smaller. I don't know. I never know what canvas size I'm using. But like the smaller the canvas size, like the worse quality the line work would look, if that makes any sense. I wouldn't know why, but I really like this one though. So now I'm drawing her little umbrella, but it's kind of crazy because when I already finished the first page where she's first introduced, and she doesn't have an umbrella, she has like a little floppy hat. And what I wanted to do was kind of like add some lore to like vampires, I guess, because you know how people always say like if it's like sunlight is bad for vampires, shouldn't moonlight also affect vampires? And so my answer to this question is that it does, but not like, it's kind of like the equivalent of getting a really bad suntan, but it also depends on the phase of the moon. So like when it's like a new moon, or like, okay, I'm really bad at spirituality, so I don't know all the phases of the moon. So like, you know, like when the moon is like half thick, yeah, when the moon is like half thick, or like when the moon is skinny, it doesn't affect them that much, and they can just like walk outside like normal. But when the moon is full, or is like getting chunky, it starts to affect them, and they get like really bad sunburns. But I guess it would be a moon burn because it's not the sun. So that's why she wears like floppy hats and like gloves and like thick stockings, even though she's outside at night, because it's still going to affect her. At least when the moon is thick, it's going to affect her. When the moon is thin, when the moon is a skinny legend, it will not affect her. It'll just be like going into a suntan booth. Yeah, that's the analogy I'm gonna use. So yeah, I'm just adding little details. At first I realized you couldn't really tell she was wearing stockings, so that's why I added like the little lines. And so I'm just adding like hair details and such. Alright, so this is where I'm going to start like coloring, or should I say shading, because then it's like black and white. So I started really getting into using the watercolor brush. I just like the texture that it gives the piece, even though it's digital art. And I love the watercolor brush so much, but I hate how it works. I know it works just like watercolors, but like it's just so upsetting because like I'll get like the perfect like flat color, or like flat wash, I guess that's the correct technical term, and then I'll have to like erase it because I missed an area. And I know you can just use the lasso tool and stuff like that, but I'm not technically savvy. I may be a graphic design student, but I know nothing about computers. So I'm just like struggling with like erasing it and like trying to get like even colors. But I adore the texture of the watercolor brush, and I will still use it even though it makes me want to cry. And so yeah, that's what I'm just going to be doing. I'm just going to be erasing it and adding different, I want to say coats, like it's like painting a wall, but it's not a wall. So I'm just going to be adding different layers. There we go. That's the word I want to use. And you guys, if you guys know anything about I can't talk. If you know anything about digital art, you're probably just going to cringe, because I'm just going to be making your heart hurt. And now I'm doing the layering like I said before, and I'm just cleaning up the second layer, and yeah, I'm just doing more cleanup work and trying to get this looking nice. I wanted to have like different values of gray so I can add like depth, I guess, to the piece and not just have to be the same shade. And last but not least, I'm going to be adding like some extra little bit of shimmers and shades to the piece, or to the little Iris? Her name is Iris, sorry. So in the actual comic itself, I probably won't go as detailed with shading and highlights unless like it's like a super up close and personal panel, like a full body panel, like, you know, like the full pieces panels, yeah, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm just adding some shading, and I'm also added little highlights. I used the kneaded eraser brush to like erase away the ink or watercolor, I guess I should say, and now I'm using the rough watercolor brush for the shading, and I'm just going very lightly. Like sometimes I go a little bit too hard, but I'm just going super light so that I can get that blend and that transition and insert other art phrases that make sense. And the video is almost over, so I would like to thank you for watching to the end. If you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment something down below, anything, just as long as you comment. And I am a comic artist and an illustrator, so if you want to see more of my work, please check out my Instagram and TikTok. I will be leaving it all in the description down below. I also have a webtoon. You can also check that out down below. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day, whatever time you're watching this. Bye. I'll see you in the next video.